Hey, this is Knife Standards. Today I'm going to be doing my full review of the Vero Engineering Synapse XL. But first, please follow me at Knife Standards. You can follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for a lot more knife content and weekly knife reviews. All right, cool. So we have another Vero knife on the table. This is a beast. This is a beast of a knife. This is it's not called the XL for nothing. This is definitely extra large. Let's go ahead and do a quick refresher with the COA card. We got the Synapse XL second run Vero. Yes, Joseph Vero designed it. M390 belt satin, black carbon fiber. I think this is end cut. I think it's the end cut carbon fiber. And then, of course, hardware, raw, plain titanium. So, this is quite the knife. I'm going to go ahead and spoil the review for you guys. There are almost no downsides to this knife. And I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the way right now so you guys are aware. One downside, which is such a small thing. One downside is which is just my preference. This is a flat grind. Look at the belt satin. We have a flat grind all the way across. If this was a hollow grind, whew, oh my god, come on. Now, but I'm like a hollow grind freak, so tiny little criticism, tiny little downside. Hollow grind, yes. Now, I don't know if they could pull off the hollow grind with the V-spot or the V-slot or whatever they call this. I don't know how that would work because you have this kind of fuller action. I'm not sure if that is possible. So that may be why there is a flat grind. Regardless, I mean, look at the belt satin. It's a phenomenal blade. Don't get me wrong, phenomenal. These are produced by Best Tech. Oh, look at that. So that is one tiny little downside, which is almost like a nothing thing. And the other, did I forget the other downside? What was there was one more. Well, I will think of it, I'm sure. Let's go ahead and it'll come to me. Let's go ahead and talk, let's talk action. Actually, before we get into that, let's do some material talk. We have kind of like a stone wash on the titanium. We have bolster lock going on. I think this is the end cut carbon fiber. Very different to what you'd normally find, like if we look at this kind of weave, this regular carbon fiber. End cut carbon fiber, a little bit rougher. I don't mind it. A little bit more texture. Of course, belt satin. We got M390 blade steel, drop point blade shape. I love this swedge that he does. I've been noticing that, I've quite a few Vero knives now, and I've been noticing this swedge on all of his blades. Really cool. I like that a lot. Again, this is I can't believe I forgot the second downside. What the hell? And you know what? If I can't remember the second downside by the end of this video, then apparently it's not a downside. Now, what was I? Oh, yeah. So we got M390 blade steel, titanium, bolster lock, titanium pocket clip, end cut carbon fiber, belt satin. You do have this V-spot to middle finger flick, if that's your thing, which I think is a great option. Whew. The action is ridiculous. Let's go ahead and do a quick size comparison so you can see how big this thing is. Let's put it up against the VBR. Wow, yeah, I mean, I have not had a knife on my table that trumps the VBR as far as size. That's pretty cool. And let's go ahead and bust out the Quiet Carry drift. And let's get these measured up. So we know Quiet Carry drift, just about 3 inches and 7. VBR we know is 3.5 and 8. And then the Synapse XL, the beast. Oh my God. I mean, that's like 3 point, I mean, that's almost 4 inches. That's 3.75-ish. You know, we're almost 4-inch blade, and then almost 9 overall length. So this is a beast of a knife. The good news is it carries really well, and even better news for people that are concerned about the clip. I'm sure you guys thought I was going to say the clip was a downside, but it is not. The clip was totally fine. The retention was not too strong for me, not too serious. It went in and out of pocket easily. Now, I didn't wear this with shorts or anything. It wasn't flimsy material. You know, it was like, what was I wearing? I was wearing jeans, and I was wearing kind of cargo pant, you know, cargo-ish pants. So for the pants that I was wearing, the clip was fine. And I think a lot of people freak out about the hot spot. On other Vero knives, I have felt that. I've felt what people are talking about, this little tip, which is now kind of flattened out, plateaued. But on the XL, I don't know. I don't feel it at all. Totally comfortable. Just where my hand sits on the larger knife, really comfortable. As far as ergos go, really comfortable. Really, really comfortable. And it's kind of weird that it's such a large knife, and my hand fits this knife so well. And I know I've been more interested in larger knives lately, and I've been kind of, you know, drifting towards larger knives, and that's been more exciting to me in my collection lately. But ergos are great. No hot spots, nothing's uncomfortable. I get way more than a 4-finger grip. I mean, there's some leftover space there, which I think is awesome. The jimping feels good. Oh, hey, there we go. I remembered the second downside. So again, this is a minor thing, but it has to do with the blade. So we have this little tiny choil here, just kind of like a sharpening choil. If this had a full forward finger choil here, kind of swooped out where I could choke up into the blade right there, that would be amazing. So that is the second downside. Hollow grind if possible, and this full finger choil. Now, obviously that's not what Vero's going for, which is totally fine. But it's my job to review and kind of give my opinion from my personal taste. That's what I would love to see. I would love to see that as a finger choil, just like I just happen to have the VBR. Boom. Where I can get up, even though it's a large knife, I can kind of choke up if I want to do anything that's detail. I can choke. This is one of the better forward finger choils that I have felt. I can choke up right there and get that kind of forward grip going. So those are the only two downsides, which are like, they're not even downsides. They're just kind of my personal preference, what I would like to see. A little bit of a hollow grind, a little bit of a finger choil. Other than that, this knife is kick ass. I mean, the knife is great. Let's talk action, because the action is ridiculous, of course. It is a flipper knife. You can see this kind of, hopefully it's patented, but this kind of signature patented Vero flipper tab that sits into the frame. So there's nothing sticking out. It's within the frame parameters, which is so cool. And as far as I know, he's the first person to do that. People have since copied it, but Vero is the innovator. So it looks like there's nothing to push, but boom. Really, really snappy. Also, an interesting detail is you can see how the frame, there's this kind of cutout in the frame, kind of this little downturn, little hill thing going on. That feels amazing, and I think it's meant for the flipper, or when you're flipping the knife, your finger kind of lands into that spot. And it's very comfortable because there's less material. The scales are thinner for this top section. So when your finger pushes the flipper tab and kind of lands into this groove, you're not pinching yourself or poking extra material. There's a place for your finger to land. And then of course, the titanium gets thicker and thicker and thicker as the knife goes, as we get down to the clip. So I think that's a great design feature. I'm assuming that's why Vero did it, but boom, kind of sits in right where that cutout is. Very cool feature. Lockup is solid. Lockup goes all the way across in almost where the pivot is, under the knife, and of course below right here where you see it. Little groove cut out to disengage the lock. Oh yeah, action. So action is great. Let's see if I can fail it. Yeah, I mean, if you really try hard, yeah, you know what? It's not one of those flippers where it's easy to fail, where you can just sit there and kind of and it kind of floats out and, you know, kind of like it's sluggish. If you flip the knife, if you hit the flipper tab, it's flipping. So D10 is great on this knife, which is hard to do for such a large knife. Also, we can get our middle finger in the V spot, that's what she said, and flick it out. Really, really snappy, easy to flick. Nothing's uncomfortable here. As far as the close, whew, drop shut. Really nice, smooth close action. It's running on bearings. Let's check the detent. See it? Yeah, really sucks that in. Snappy. And I don't want to get my finger chopped off here, so I'm kind of being careful with the close. But this is a beast of a knife. I'm not trying to get sliced, but really smooth on the deployment and on the close. Bam. Now I have not oiled this knife. I've been carrying it, and it's just starting to get a little bit crispy, I think, on the bearings. So I really should. I'm sure the action would improve even more if I just put a little drop of oil on the detent ball. I might do that later today. But this is a knife that I'm going to continue to carry. A lot of knives. I unbox them, I carry them, I play with them. I go through my whole process. I cut some things, and then I do my full review, and that's it. And then I'm either putting the knife away, it goes into my storage, or it's on my desk, or I'm selling it. But that's it. It doesn't really find its way back into my pocket. And there are a few knives. One of them is the J-Cape, Something Obscene Company. That has found its way back into my pocket. And this, I can already tell, this is going to be one of those knives that finds its way back into my pocket, even after this full review is posted, after I'm done filming this. This is just too good of a knife to not go back in my pocket. Again, this is produced by Best Tech. They absolutely just crushed the production. The fit and the finish is insane. I mean, you can barely, now you can't even really feel the inlay, the transition. Really excellent work on the transition. Fit and the finish, the centering, man. No tooling mark on the pivot on this side. Would have been great if there were no tooling marks here and here too, but what are you gonna do? Action, ridiculous. It's a great knife. There's just not that much to say. It is a great knife. It is a huge knife. I do not have the regular Synapse. I have the Synapse Mini. I have the Synapse XL. Maybe when they do when Vero does another run of regular Synapses, I will pick that up. But I'm happy. I'm happy with the Mini. Mini is excellent, and I'm happy with the XL. It's just a beast. It's just a beast. Now, I forgot to tell you guys, and I forgot to mention that in pocket, this is, you do feel the knife. The clip is fine, so that's not a concern. But you do feel. I mean, it's a big knife. You know, it's you're gonna feel it in your pocket, but it doesn't feel like it's as big as it is. If that makes any sense at all. It carries well. You're not like weighed down. It's a fairly light knife for as big as it is. Maybe that's because of the carbon fiber. I don't know. But it just doesn't feel like such a chunk when it's in your pocket, which I think is another upside. So again, just a full upside review here. 2 tiny critiques, but nothing major. It's just a good knife. This is just a good knife. This is not one that I will be selling anytime soon. What a knife. So yeah, Vero crushed it. Bestech crushed it. I think that just about wraps it up. It's an awesome knife. Not much more to say. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Vero does next. Hopefully it's a run of Synapses or something new. I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I'm looking forward to it. And of course, I will catch you guys later. I have a ton, so many more videos coming for you guys. Some really cool stuff in the works that I can't announce quite yet, but you guys will be the first to know. Thanks for watching. This has been Knife Standards. See you guys later.